It is time for another edition of Wellness Wednesday with Dr. Bradley Meyer of Okoboji Wellness Clinic. Good morning, Dr. Meyer.
Morning, Dave.
Well, it's Valentine's Day. You're going to put a little damper on that this morning. We're going to talk about sugar.
Right. Everything in moderation, but I think it would blow folks' minds how much sugar is added to the food that we eat. So, and it's a pretty big deal when it comes to pain and inflammation. Often overlooked, and it can absolutely be a game changer by itself. So, you know, when we're looking at folks that are coming in and ways to reduce inflammation, a lot of folks over the course of a day, they will have these spikes in insulin and sugar spikes. And one of the hardest things on the body is missing breakfast. And so what happens, the body then gets hypoglycemic. You get low sugar. And then sometimes guys are guilty of this. They don't eat breakfast, lunch, and then they go home and have a gorge at night. And they just hit the fridge, lots of carbohydrates, high in sugar, amongst other processed sugars that they may intake. So what that's doing to the brain, it's keeping the brain in imbalance, that sugar and the nerves. So if you don't have enough sugar throughout the day, this is where the body needs a balanced amount of sugar. Now that doesn't mean I eat a Snickers bar every 2 hours. It means we want the body to work extra hard to get the sugar, to get the nutrients from the food. So that means more of a protein-based approach in many cases. Now that you still want to bring in some vegetables and you can bring in fruits, but you always want to pair those breakfasts with a good protein and a good fat. That's pretty critical. So you're not having these spikes, these ups and downs in the sugars, because the brain literally, when it's starved of sugar, it puts it in this state that it's a fight or flight state, essentially. So that's what can lead a lot of people that develop nausea in the morning or really bad headaches. It's because they're having this swing in the amount of sugar in their body or glucose throughout the day. So that there's a critical thing. Now, a lot of times we had an incredible gal that walked through the door. She and her husband came to visit us for a whole week immersion at the clinic this last week. And in her case, we were looking to do whatever we could to reduce inflammation, and sugar was a big part of that.
It was a big part of that, and it's a remarkable story, a remarkable success story. I'll tell you what, I've been actually following this theme you're talking about here today. I have seen a lot of the medical community move to just what you're talking about, a higher protein diet, and what's resulting is a significant reduction in inflammation.
It's huge, and it's so in the case of this gal, she came from in her early 30s, and she was told that she had something like a functional neurologic disorder. So essentially having problems with these seizure-like activities, headaches all the time, really, really weak, and she came into the clinic with a wheeled walker in her early 30s. This was last week. She stayed with us for a week. They got a VRBO type of thing, and she went through the different treatments and modalities, sat down with all of our team, and not only we've touched on gluten. That was another big thing that we eliminated that was a big thing for her, but we got her into the hyperbaric chambers, did some red light therapy, and it was a dramatic change for her. So again, she the start of the week, she walked in with the walker, and at the end of the week, her coloring and her skin was beautiful. She was in tears. The walker gone. She's like, I haven't had this much strength in ages, and I didn't think that she was frustrated in the sense that she's like, golly, I've been miserable for 2 years. She came in on 6 prescription medications, and we helped her responsibly remove those. And the fact that she'd just been struggling for 2 straight years with no answers, and we made some suggestions on her nutrition, and we supported her body through some of the different supplements and modalities we offer at the clinic, and it was a dramatic change for her in a matter of a week. But as you talked last week with that interview with that doctor talking about the fish water, in what we're trying to do with everybody, it's we want to filter that fish water. We don't want to necessarily throw more yuck in that fish water, because you want to clean the body up of the sugars, clean the body up of the things that are inflaming it, like the gluten.
Absolutely. And this is a remarkable story. This is a gal in her young 30s, and to be that debilitated that you're using a walker at that young of age with seemingly no answers, her frustration level had to be through the moon.
It was. I mean, and when her husband was the driving force in having her come, because she just, when you get to that spot where you're not feeling well, it's hard to get out of that cycle. It's just because nothing she had tried had helped, and so thank God that they came, and at the end of the week they said, it was just like dropping the kids off or his wife off at Disneyland, is what he said, in the sense that he knew it was that she was going to be well taken care of, and it was one of those. It was definitely a top 10 experience here in the 2 years of the clinic. I mean, I learn from this every day, and see these dramatic changes in folks that have been struggling for such a long period of time, and it's such a blessing to be able to to have this to offer to folks in the surrounding area.
Well, if there's one blessing that came from COVID, I think it was an eye-opener for the medical community to maybe look at different things. We've seen a dramatic change. We've seen a dramatic change in how the medical community looks at proteins. We've seen the medical community take a magnifying glass to statins. We've seen them take a magnifying glass to SSRIs, and there's some things that are really being examined heavily that affect people's health.
Absolutely, and so often it's just comes down to cleaning some things up, and some simple changes can be big changes, and it is possible to get that body, support that body, give it what it needs to get on that healing path. It is the body is an amazing thing, and sometimes we just got to support it and then get out of the way and let the body, God's blessings through this amazing creation, do what it wants to do. It naturally wants to heal if we'll just stop pouring toxins onto it and clean those up.
All right, listen, if folks want to come see you, they want to have a visit with you, they walk in and they say, you know what, I've not felt well for a long time, I want to live again, how do they come see you?
Love to see you. Love to get going on that journey with you, our team. It's a walk together. It's a self-discovery, and we're learning together. We're creating a plan that's specific to you, that's best for you, because everybody's unique. But yeah, all you have to do is give the clinic a call at 712-339-6024, and we are happy to do a sit-down consultation. The different options available, the team can go through when you call. We are at next to Ace Fix Hardware, 3305 Berquist Avenue in Spirit Lake, just off of Highway 71, so the building just north of Ace Fix Hardware. So happy to see you. Put yourself first, get started on that healing journey, feeling better. Don't just survive. We want to thrive. We want to feel well. So it's all about.
Very good. Dr. Meyer, always a pleasure. We will visit again next Wednesday.
Take care. Be well, everybody.
Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Bradley Meyer from the Okoboji Wellness Clinic. You can find them also at okobojiwellnessclinic.com.